kudos to Gunnar Stockton, who, Chris, almost single-handedly, as Georgia was struggling defensively, kept the Dogs in that game, and then they took over. They woke up defensively, and Gunner Stockton was perfect in the second half. 289 yards, 4 scores through the air, runs for a score as well as Georgia pulls away 43-35.
I know the conferences give out players of the week, and then, the special teams and everything else. Is there a national player of the week in college football?
I mean, I'd give it to him.
Because he certainly would be in the mix.
You got to consider the circumstances. They needed to score to survive because Georgia's defense was historically bad under Kirby Smart. And you'll hear him talk about that momentarily.
I'd asked about Lane Kiffin, what's going to happen? Well, they got up like I thought maybe they could because Georgia's defense has not been good, especially in the beginning of a game, certainly the first quarter. This one extended a little bit further than that. But I went back and I found a play sheet. I have it here someplace where 3 and out, 3 and out, 5 and out. And Lane Kiffin decided to throw the football, I think, 9 out of 10 times. And this is what I was asking Stinch and anybody else who listened. When you get in this situation, what are you going to do? Are you going to turtle? Are you going to go too far, too much gas? You turn into Big Balls Willie. Or was there a happy medium that maybe you could have played to figure out, how do I keep the ball? How do I get first downs? How do I keep the clock moving and maybe not give who turned out to be the best player on the field, Gunnar Stockton, more opportunities to beat me? I didn't think Lane Kiffin coached a very good offensive game down the stretch.
Now, the one thing we didn't know is that we almost didn't see Gunnar Stockton in this game. Here's what Kirby Smart had to say afterwards.
He's wired for these type moments because he's tough and his team believes in him. I didn't get to talk about it, but this kid couldn't practice Monday and Tuesday. I mean, he literally couldn't practice. His oblique, the shots he took at Auburn, he's beat up, and we're like, okay, well, we won't use you in the quarterback run game. We'll get to you. Coach, I want to run it. I want to run it. My team needs to see me run it, and he did. I mean, we were concerned he wouldn't be able to go, and there was no flinch in him.
So that's how we talked about Michael Penix. You can't come out of that game late. No. If you're banged up and you're playing and they tell you not to run, but they need you to run your team and you do it, that's how, again, your teammates will then do anything for you because they believe in you.
Well, if all of a sudden they go, oh, there's something wrong with him, he can't run, then they should defense you a little bit differently. You can't let them know. I don't know. Did you know watching that game that he had a problem?
No earthly idea.
Neither, which means neither did the DC on the other side. You had to play that straight. And again, he turned out to be the best player on the field. Easily the best player on the field over the course of the day.
Georgia did not punt all afternoon, 511 yards of offense. And in the second half, like we mentioned, Stockton 12 for 12, 135 yards, and 3 touchdowns. You can't play better than perfect, Chris, and that's what he was in the second half.
Yeah, again, I'm not even sure. I said college football doesn't have an MVP. The Heisman Trophy is not an MVP. I think there should be an MVP. I'm just not. Maybe somebody does it in an article, or maybe somebody does it on a YouTube where they hand out the National Player of the Week. I think he might be the National Player of the Week because the magnitude of the game, you're looking at your second loss. It could be at home. Ole Miss stays undefeated. All those other things that are going on, you do have to add it up and grade on a curve. So not only was he a really good player in a really big game, but it might have been one of the more important games. And by the way, in case you're wondering, and then there were 6. There's 6 undefeateds left in college football.
And you talk about the importance of what he was doing for the first time since taking over as the defensive coordinator at Alabama. We have to go back to 2008. Kirby Smart's defense did not get a stop in the first half. Ole Miss scores on all 5 of their offensive possessions, in fact, through the first 45 minutes of the game. And here's what Kirby had to say about his defense and if this trend continues.
The way we play defensively, you're probably going to lose games. But look, as bad as we played on defense, I can't sit here and tell you without watching the tape, that's a really good offense. When you go up against Lane, they have really good weapons. They got good plan. And the quarterback run element right now for them makes it really hard to defend.
So Trinidad Chambliss, 263 yards and a score, ran for 2 touchdowns and 42 yards. Yeah, the offense is good, but we're talking about historic proportions. I don't want to say that's how low Georgia went, but this has never happened with a Kirby Smart defense, and it goes beyond Georgia. And he said it. If this continues, we can't keep falling behind like this. We can't keep being this bad defensively. We are going to lose more games. You can't keep doing this.
Yeah, you got a slimmer margin, certainly on the defensive side, than you've had in years. And again, we go back to there's no game changers, there's no game wreckers, there's no top 10 picks on the defensive side
in this game for Georgia.
So can I tell you, there were 3 series where I thought Lane Kiffin, for as much as you want to say, well, good for him for having the balls to keep pushing, how about you actually, here it is, 3 plays, 0 yards, 19 seconds. 3 plays, 1 yard, 57 seconds. 5 plays, 1 minute, 9 seconds. That's 3 possessions in a row where they threw the football. I think it was 9 out of 10 times.
In the fourth quarter, Ole Miss runs 11 plays, gains 13 yards, and produces 1 first down, a running first down on that final drive that ends on downs as they turn it over, and Georgia wins the game. Kudos to Lawson Lucky, catches 3 touchdowns. First Georgia receiver to do that since Muhammad Massaquoi did it against Georgia Tech way back in 2008.